Alrighty, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a nice evening. Of course, it is Wednesday night here. We're tracking a little bit of wintry mix moving in. We had that break today with just mainly cloudy skies. It was nice to get that break before our next round of wet weather is moving in tonight. The difference with this next round of rainfall overnight, we're going to see a change over to sleet, freezing rain, and that's probably enough for some slippery travel just in time for the morning commute. So Thursday, I think there will be some slippery travel. The precip looks very, very light during the day on Thursday, probably in the form of maybe some freezing drizzle out there. But doesn't take much. Don't forget about not just the roads, but it's also the side step, the deck, the what else? The parking lots, the driveways, the walkways, that kind of thing. It's always the side step that I always forget. That's the one that always gets me. It's always a little slippery on days like tomorrow. All right, let's start you off tonight with what we have on the satellite radar. We can flip this around. We'll take a look at the overall setup. We're seeing our next, I didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. Our next round of precip is moving in right now. We had that break today. Notice the temperatures. I threw the temperatures on the radar just to show you that the temperatures are safely above freezing for the next several hours. So if your plans take you out and about tonight, no problems here. But I think we will start as some snow up in the mountains, western mountains of Maine. Those of you in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, I think it's probably more rainfall and wintry mix still for you. So you're probably going to miss out on the whites here. But from Rangeley points north, you're probably going to start with some wet snowflakes pretty soon. And you'll stay snow for a while tonight. You'll mix over, and then you'll eventually get some sleet and freezing rain in your area as well. We'll come back to snow for later tomorrow afternoon and into Friday as well. Again, this is not going to be a big storm. It's going to be light precip, but it's just enough to make for some travel trouble out there. Here's your winter weather advisory issued by the Weather Service. That winter weather advisory goes into effect at midnight and extends through noon tomorrow, and we're watching for just the potential for some icy conditions on untreated roads. Main road crews are about as good as it gets, so I think we'll be in good shape on the well-traveled roads at least, but be mindful there probably will be some slippery travel in the morning. We'll talk about the time frame in just a moment here. I want to show you the overall setup first. We have our next batch of precip entering in the region now after a pretty quiet day today. It was nice to get that break in between systems. I think this is the fourth week rainmaker that we have in a row here. If you're going back, I wouldn't call it 1-2 Fridays ago a weak weather maker. That was a major storm, but that was rain. We had rain just the other day. We had rain yesterday, and then more rain tonight. So people might be asking, where's winter, right? Well, cooler air is going to win out, and we're seeing signs of winter in this forecast. Those 50s, I think that's ancient history. But we are tracking just some light precip tomorrow. This is tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning. Whatever falls should be fairly light here in Maine. That's going to make its way offshore. We'll get a break here. Some more maybe light snow moves into the picture as we go into the day on Friday. This is not going to be a big storm, but we're seeing some signs you could get a coating to an inch or two of snow in many areas. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon Friday. So instead of this freezing rain, freezing drizzle, and sleet nonsense, I think we'll actually have some flakes re-entering the forecast for a change. All right, let's break it down. Let's go hour by hour, town by town, and storm tracker. This is what we really need to pay attention to. We talked about the snow moving into the Rangeley Lakes area. There it is right there. That's 9 o'clock tonight. Here we are. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from now. This pink color is probably a mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain. Farther south, yeah, it's just all rain, at least for the time being in those regions there. Well, let's go through the overnight. What's happening here is cooler air is filtering in right at the ground level. Essentially, what's happening is you have snowflakes falling at a few thousand feet in elevation. Those snowflakes are melting. They're becoming raindrops. And right at the ground level, the temperatures, they're cooling to about 30 degrees in many instances here. So those raindrops, if they have enough room to freeze or refreeze, they become sleet or ice pellets. If they don't have enough room to freeze and the temperatures are still below freezing, they fall as raindrops and then they glaze the surface of anything below freezing. We call that freezing rain. The reason I bring all of this up, that's what's going to happen tonight. And we're going to see areas in the pink right here, seeing that icy, freezing, or frozen precip being sleet or freezing rain. That's what's going to happen here. The mountains, western mountains of Maine especially, you're going to see some snow. Northern parts of Maine will see some snow on the front end. Even there, though, you'll mix during the day with probably some sleet and maybe freezing rain, a little bit of drizzle. That pink or salmon color right there, that is likely some freezing drizzle tomorrow. So I think it's going to go down anyway. We're seeing a lot of that through southern and central Maine. Even Portland. Portland, this is one model suggesting Portland's 33. It's probably going to be colder than that. It's probably closer to 30. So disregard some of the temperatures here, but I think we're going to have a hard time getting much above the upper 20s during the afternoon tomorrow. So it will get colder. And again, you get those raindrops that fall, and it's going to be producing a little glaze. It's not much at all. It's just enough for some slippery travel here and there. Now, it's interesting. Who remembers what happened 25 years ago, almost to the date? Yeah, you remember that, right? 1998. It actually got going on the 5th. It started, I think, on the 5th, and we really didn't get going, the ice storm in 1998, until the 7th. So it was the 7th through the 9th that we had the worst conditions with freezing rain, freezing drizzle. I shouldn't even bring it up because we're not looking at anything like that. But everybody's got a good story about the ice storm in 1998. But 25 years ago, I can't believe it. The time went by so quickly. I was skiing at Sugarloaf for most of that storm. I was with a couple of buddies up there, and the one thing I remember is going up in the chairlift, and it was so cold. The snow was bulletproof at the bottom because it was sleet and freezing rain. It was creating glaze, but up top it was like 50 degrees, and it was slushy. And I mean, it was good movable snow and grippable snow, but at the bottom it was like bulletproof snow. All right, that was 25 years ago this week. So let's focus back on this week here. That sleet and freezing rain departs tomorrow night. We'll see a transition back over to some snow. There'll be a little bit of snow here and there. It's very, very light. In fact, it might be enough to just coat the ground here and there. But Friday is looking a little more interesting now. We'll start Friday at 7 a.m. with just clouds. And notice as we go throughout the afternoon, we'll get a pretty good burst of snow, I think. And it's probably enough to produce a coating of snow on top of the coating of sleet that we're going to get tomorrow, or freezing rain. The reason I bring that up, I think a lot of towns will get a coating to 2 inches of snow on Friday. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's moving out by Friday night. So good news there. I think the weekend is looking better. Overall, we'll have decent weather for the weekend. All right, quick look at Ice Tracker here. Dusted this one off from last season. Aries in pink. This is just one model, but I think it has a pretty good idea. We're probably going to get a glaze of ice in these areas. And that's not much. You know, when we're talking about power outages and things like that, we're usually talking about a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of ice. This is a glaze, a very thin glaze here, and maybe up to 1/10 of an inch in spots. But so we're not talking power outages. We're not talking that at all. We're talking about just some slippery travel on untreated surfaces. Now, this may be a little misleading, the snowfall map here, because some of this is going to happen tonight up here. None of this down here is going to happen tonight and into tomorrow morning. So what we're seeing for most of the snowfall, with many areas getting maybe that coating to 1 inch or 2, that's going to be Friday. So this is through Friday. But there'll be 2 bursts, one in the mountains, western mountains of Maine overnight and into Thursday morning, and another burst area wide on Friday. So it's a coating to 1 inch or 2. Maybe 1 to 3 in spots. And we'll revisit that tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a heavier burst. Maybe we'll all get 5 inches. We'll see. But I think it's a fairly light accumulation. And most of that is on Friday. The mountains, though, some of the ski resorts are in pretty good spots for this. We're going to get some accumulating snow there. First overnight tonight and extending into Friday as well. You'll get some mix during the day tomorrow. And again, precip is very, very light tomorrow. All righty. 7 days, sleet, freezing rain tomorrow. Freezing drizzle might be a better way to describe it. Light snow on Friday, light snow or snow showers. I keep on going back and forth. I was talking to Christian about that. I said, should we call it snow showers or should we call it light snow? And the old METAR, Mount Washington Weather Observer in me, snow shower is determined by duration, short duration usually, and intensity. So I'm going to go light snow because if you get something that lasts more than a half hour, let's call it light snow because it's going to extend for a longer period. That's getting technical, but I think there'll be some snow showers and light snow on Friday. Might get a late day snow shower Saturday. We'll cool it off behind that front around 30. Monday looks okay. I think a storm stays to our south. Now I say that because it's important to keep an eye on that storm Monday. There's some forecast model guidance that's trying to clip us with a little bit of snow on Monday. That bears watching. And another front moves through on Wednesday. It's real important to keep an eye on that one as well, because we're seeing signs that real cold air could be making an appearance later next week. And I think the pattern is favorable for snowstorms. I mean, with cold air coming in, it's the first ingredient you need. I mean, winter, people are wondering, where's winter? I mean, winter's far from over here, folks. I think we have a favorable track for snow over the next couple of weeks around here. And it looks as if the cold's going to make an appearance. I mean, there's some mighty cold air building in Canada in the coming weeks. And Yeah, winter's far from over. If you're a skier or snowboarder, that's a promising sign, I think. So we'll keep an eye on that as well in the coming days. Hopefully, I've answered all your questions here. Klein says he's checking from Carabasset. Let me bring back a more important graphic here so we can take a look at the icing potential. There it is right there. Bring on the snow, Don says. Yeah, hopefully we get a little snow. Will schools be affected in Wyndham? That is a great question. Because I think there'll be some slippery travel in Wyndham. I think there will. But road crews might be out there, might be light enough that they say, hey, go to school. My kids had a week and a half off, and then they had a half day today. If they have a day off tomorrow or a late start tomorrow, that would be pretty impressive. I'd be happy for them, but we'll see. I don't know. Let's see here. Hi, Charlie. Dee Dee says, oh, hello. Dee Dee. Oh, right here. Hello. Dee Dee, tell Joe I say hi as well. Live in Standish. It was bad. Oh, you're talking about the ice storm in 98. Yeah. Oh, the ice storm was tough. A lot of folks had good stories. A lot of great stories from the ice storm. Mary remembers it well. Let's see here. Oh, Ashley says that's enough. I think I was talking too much about the ice storm. I remember driving around after the ice storm and there were no place to fuel up. I was driving around a truck at the time and we ran out of gas pretty quickly. I remember we couldn't get any gas and there were power lines down everywhere and just the sound of everything snapping. That was pretty crazy. And then, I like to hike and ski in the woods. And I remember the hiking trails were just devastated for that entire summer. You couldn't get through. It was one of those, so much debris down. We're not talking ice storm. Don't worry. I shouldn't have even brought it up. The reason I bring up the ice storm of 98, it was 25 years ago this week. And we were just doing a little look back on it the other day. I have some video. I was just down. I might use that tomorrow. Maybe I'll post the old video of the ice storm. Meet me here tomorrow night. We'll talk about the ice storm of 1998 and we'll look at the video in more detail. All right. Please show us the status at 10 a.m. and noon instead of just 5:30 and late afternoon. Oh, all right. All right, Ron. I'd be happy to help you out with that. I went too fast for Ron. Sorry, buddy. Let's bring it in here. This is just a forecast model, so take it with a grain of salt. But this is just, here we are, 5 o'clock in the morning. What do you want to see? 10 a.m. See, we can do that. We can do anything here. This is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This isn't a live broadcast. We can do anything we want. Here you are, 10 a.m., Ron. There you go, bud. We are looking at some sleet, freezing rain, 10 a.m. There it is. Upper 20s. I think this temperature in Portland, I think that's too warm. I think we're around 30 degrees. It's just one forecast model, so take that with a grain of salt. And whatever falls in very, very light. In fact, it might just be cloudy for a while. And you might get a little bit of drizzle out there as well. Not a big deal. But something to watch in areas that do not have treated roadways. How's Bath looking? Yeah, you'll see a changeover. Teresa, you'll see a little bit of a wintry mix there tomorrow. Be very light, sleet, freezing rain. And then snow, a little bit of snow on Friday. Friday is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yvonne says, hello. When's Portland going to get a lot of snow? Mike says, oh, I don't know. I wish we get a little snow. Keep an eye on Monday storm. Right now, I think it goes south late next week. That bears watching as well. And the pattern does look favorable for cold and snow. So it's going to happen at some point. Oh, wow. A lot of good. Sanford tomorrow, 3:30 a.m. Yeah, Sanford. Oh, boy. Let's go back to Sanford tomorrow, 3:30 a.m. 3:30. We got that for you. There you go. It's raining. Judy, there you go. Raining 3. I was actually looking at this as well because I was wondering if I was going to have any wintry mix for my drive home tonight around midnight, 1 a.m. And the answer to that's probably no where I live. But it's working south. I think Lewiston, you're around freezing at about 3:30 a.m. right there. So, yeah, we talked to Mike. Mike wants snow. I don't blame you. All right. Mary, hello. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for checking in. School tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I can never predict these things. I thought the kids were going to school a few weeks ago, and we had a couple inches of snow. And I said the kids are going to school. I didn't think they'd get the day called off, but they did. So From my experience, it's rare you get a day off from school from like freezing drizzle. I don't know. It really is. I think the kids go to school tomorrow. I think they treat the roads and the kids go to school. That's what I think happens. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. How will Gorham be in the morning? Joel says, yeah, Gorham. Let's take a look at Gorham. What do you want? 7 a.m.? I mean, totally take this with a grain of salt. Please do, because this is just one forecast model. Precip is very, very light tomorrow morning. There we go. And whatever falls in Gorham, which is right here, will probably fall in the form of sleet or freezing drizzle. It'll be very, very light. In fact, it may just be cloudy. It'll be close. I can't stress this enough. This is not going to be heavy precip at all. It's going to be so light. It might be just enough that you need the windshield wipers. So hope I answered your question. Hope I answered everyone's question. All righty. How much Friday? Let's see. Justin says, how much Friday? Hey, Justin, what's up? Let's look. Not much. Coating to an inch or two, maybe. This is mostly Friday. Some areas in the mountains get some of this tomorrow night, or tonight, I mean. But how much Friday? I don't think it's a big storm on Friday. Sorry, I know a lot of folks want snow. All righty. I think we'll leave it at that. I almost didn't even make a snowfall map because I think the bigger message is the sleet and freezing rain. So this is the glaze of ice. That's what you need to see. And that's what we're going to get tomorrow morning. And again, road crews do a great job. I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So that's how it's going to pan out. All right. Hope everybody has a great evening out there. We'll meet up tomorrow night. And I'm going to get some of that video from the ice storm in 98 because we are in the 25th anniversary of this week, 25 years ago. I can't believe it. I'm starting to feel a little old on this one here, but everyone has a great story. Bring your stories tomorrow night. We'll meet up. Let's meet up around 7:45 again. All right. Take care. Have a nice night, everyone.